If you're in the nonprofit world, you know the feeling. That constant, relentless search for funding that can honestly feel like you're running uphill constantly. It's a challenge that pretty much unites everyone in the sector. But what if the solution isn't a bigger list, but a better strategy? Let's break down a blueprint that completely flips the script on fundraising.
We've all dreamed of it, right? You know, that one silver bullet, that perfect tool that promises to solve all our funding problems. I'm talking about the legendary, all-encompassing list of donors just waiting to support our cause.
So imagine you get your hands on a list with over 2,300 potential funders. I mean, that's more than any other directory out there. The sheer scale of it feels like a guarantee, doesn't it? It feels like the answer has finally arrived.
And that's the promise, isn't it? A tool like this isn't just a list. They market it as a definitive competitive edge. The one thing that will finally put your organization on the map and lock down its future. The key to unlocking every single door.
But hang on a second. What if we've been so focused on finding this magic key that we've completely missed the point? What if the list itself isn't the answer at all, but just one tiny piece of a much, much larger puzzle?
Yeah, it's time for a reality check. Because the truth about successful, sustainable fundraising, well, it's a lot more nuanced, and honestly a lot more strategic than just buying a list of names and email addresses.
And this quote right here, it gets right to the heart of it. An up-to-date database is only one small tool in the bigger process. That's the key phrase. So if the list is just a tool, then what is the bigger process?
Well, that process is a framework built on 4 pillars of donor engagement. And this isn't about chasing contacts. It's a strategic approach to building genuine, lasting relationships. And here they are: cultivation, identification and qualification, solicitation, and stewardship. Think of this as your strategic map. Let's break down what each of these really means.
First up, cultivation. This is the foundation. Seriously, it's all the work you do before you even think about asking for money. It's about getting to know potential donors, inviting them to an event, sending them your newsletter, sharing a success story, and just as importantly, letting them get to know you.
Next, we have identification and qualification. Okay, now is where that big database becomes truly useful. See, it's not about blasting an email to all 2,300 contacts. It's about using the data to strategically find the few who are the absolute best fit for your mission. We're talking quality here, not just quantity.
Pillar 3 is solicitation. This is the formal ask. And you got to notice the key phrase here, according to their requirements. A generic copy-paste proposal just won't cut it. This stage requires you to do your homework and tailor your request to fit the funder's specific guidelines, their deadlines, and their interests.
And finally, we have stewardship. This is arguably the most overlooked yet most critical pillar of them all. The relationship doesn't end when the check is cashed. Stewardship is that commitment to showing gratitude, reporting on your impact, and nurturing that bond so a one-time donor becomes a lifelong supporter.
So let's go back to that database we started with. How do we make it work for us inside this new framework? It's all about shifting your perspective, from seeing it as a static list to seeing it as a dynamic, living tool.
And this illustrates the difference perfectly. An outdated database is just a list you use, and it loses value every single day. But a living database, that's a tool you cultivate. You update it, you add notes from conversations, you track interactions. It actually becomes more valuable over time, a true organizational asset.
So what does this look like in practice? Let's connect this idea to some real actions. Verifying an email isn't just a chore, it's your first act of cultivation. Updating a contact's info as you learn it, that's a core practice of stewardship. Noting their online-only application rules helps you tailor your solicitation. See? Every small update feeds back into that 4-pillar strategy, making you smarter and more effective.
So what's the big takeaway here? What's the bottom line? It's about a fundamental shift in mindset. It's a blueprint for success that goes so much further than a simple list of names. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Successful fundraising isn't about hunting for contacts. It's about patiently and genuinely building relationships. The list might be where you start, sure, but the relationship is what secures and sustains your mission in the long run.
So I'll leave you with this question. Instead of asking where the next list of names is, ask yourself this. What's the one relationship with a potential donor, a current supporter, a community partner that you could start building or strengthening today? Because that's where the real work begins.